Hello, it is a second line day. We are in gate 52, the gate of inaction, keeping still mountain, and the second line is called concern. The second line in the 52 is about as second line as you can get. After all, the 52 is about concentration. It's the gift of being able to avoid distraction. It's why it's a good Buddha gate. Everything clears away. The second line is all by itself in its isolation. It's not distracted at all, but it gets distracted by others who are always trying to call it out, trying to get it interested in what it is that they're doing. Other people always want the 52 to apply their root center energy. And it is just the mechanic. It's not personal and they can't help it. In the exaltation, we have the pause that is initiated to benefit others, the pressure to restrain energy for the benefit of others. So here the second line is saying, you don't really want me. I'm not going to be able to concentrate on this. You think you need me, but really you don't. And if you just leave me alone and find somebody else, it will work out so much better for you. Ra said that so many 52s, unless they're aware of their mechanic and how they're designed to work in the world, very few of them are able to do this. Instead, they get called out, they get distracted, and it's really hard then for them to get back to that place of not being distracted, that place of stillness and inaction. They spend their precious energy being focused and concentrated on something that really isn't for them. In the detriment, we have a selfish and abrupt pause that may endanger others unnecessarily. The pressure to selfishly restrain energy at the expense of others. So this is the extreme expression. It wants to be left alone to the point where it seems perverse. And it's quite interesting that the opposition in the wheel here, the 58-2, is called perversion. It seems to be a kind of perverse concentration, maybe. These are people who are great in a crisis. Everybody is racing around and they're just sitting there. Everybody thinks they're being very brave or very calm. Oh, they're such a calming influence. Well, the second line and the fifth line, they are both lines of projection. The way people see the second and fifth lines is never reliable. There's a lot of illusion and delusion caught up in the way in which projection operates. And the 52 can be very serious. If they don't have something to be serious about, then they can be seriously depressed. And the second line is about projection. What is projected outwards here is the nature of this hexagram, which is that they can be focused. They can really concentrate. And of course, they are then under pressure to concentrate. When they're looking at a magazine and you walk up to them and say, do you want a cup of coffee? They get really annoyed because they are concentrating. They're fully invested in what is in front of them. And they project that field out. So the 58-2, as we just heard, it's called perverse. So we have perverse concentration. It can seem very perverse to others to have such a focus that you won't act unless it's absolutely necessary. But this is the mechanics of this particular gate. Second lines have to learn discernment. This is an important part of their process. So they're not available to be called out to just anybody. Or they don't answer the call that comes in from just anybody. What to others may seem like a perversion is maybe just their discernment. Venus. Venus is the planet that establishes our values and affects how we interact and relate with each other and what we deem to be valuable. Qualities of Venus are associated with beauty, with grace, with aesthetics. And she represents our personal morals, which determine how we relate on a communal, sort of collective and individual level. So today Venus moves into gate 39 at just 55, 0055, 5 to 1. 5 to 1 tomorrow morning. And these are the themes, of course, of provocation and obstruction. It's the root center that can be very aware of its obstruction in provoking analysis, assessment, and reevaluation, looking for the spirit at the other end of the channel. That's the whole point of its provocation. Who do I resonate with? Who's going to resonate with me? Who's going to meet my provocation with a strong spirit? The moon is still in the G center, gate 13, and then it begins to hang out in the solar plexus, and it's there for the rest of the day. And we start with gate 49 at 12:18, and this is the gate of revolution, the gate of principles. It's tribal gate, and it keeps an eye on the distribution of resources, supporting the call for social change. It's a gate of rejection. It's a gate of sacrifice. So a question you could ask, if you felt inclined to do so, is what would you sacrifice for the good of the tribe? Or what would you sacrifice to avoid a revolution? Then we move into gate 30 at 21:49. This is the clinging fire, the gate of feelings. It's the drive to fulfill our dreams, a desire for new experiences, for something that makes us feel alive. It's the gate of the fates, so be careful what you wish for. And then gate 55, the moon moves here at 7:20 tomorrow morning. This is the gate of abundance, the gate of spirit, where we find that abundance is strictly a question of spirit. And of course, the moon here in 55 is bringing us the channel with Venus in 39. And this is the channel of emoting. It's a design of moodiness. So we have the opportunity here to embrace the wave, the highs, the lows, the hope, the pain. There is an abundance of spirit in this channel. There can be a fierce joy in provoking those around you to see what they're made of. Can you find a value in your unpredictable moods? Can you experience them without explaining them? Because it's just chemistry, after all. And really, when anybody says to you, why are you feeling like that? Whether that's the low end of the wave or the high end of the wave, there is no why. There's no need to justify it or explain it because it's just chemistry. I feel this way because I do. And we can tell stories about it, of course. We can go up into the mind and we can make all sorts of things around why you feel that way. And very often it can become a blame shame saying, I feel like this because you, whatever it was you did. And it's not always down. I feel like, I'm so happy because you made me. I don't know what is. Pasta for breakfast. It doesn't need explaining. I'm so happy. The end. Oh. But society often wants us to justify our wave, so it's a constant work in progress, really, isn't it? That is our gate for today. It's our transit for today. I will be back tomorrow with another line transit. So until then, enjoy your day, your evening, wherever you are when you're watching this. And go gently. And I want to say I'm sending you love today. Without any reason, I'm sending you love. Take care. Bye-bye.